Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, Fit 360 Over 40. If you're new here, hi, I'm Ashley and I hope you're having a productive day. This unicorn headband can only mean one thing. It's time for another episode of Self-Care and Share. It's also a bonus Vlogmas video, so this will go up on the same day as another Vlogmas video, so it's a bonus video for the day. Today, I want to talk about something that I'm very passionate about, something that has impacted me personally as an adult. And what I'm going to talk about today is our relationship with food, our relationship with eating, and eating disorders. So it's can be a heavy topic and something that gets me a little bit fired up. So if I sound passionate as I'm talking, it's because I am passionate about this particular topic. So anyway, I have a washcloth in front of me because I might do a mask that I need to wipe off. So I haven't really decided what face masks to do today. So yeah, that's why I have a towel in front of me. But as usual, I'm going to start by cleansing the face. And that's what's going to happen. Excuse me, I just dropped something. And, you know, I got to get it before the doggies try to eat it. So apologies for that. So one thing that I want to make very clear on my channel is this is not a weight loss channel. This is not a diet channel. You won't see me posting about any diets or eating plans or things like that, because I just don't believe, in my experience, I just don't believe that they're sustainable as a healthy way of living. One thing I'm really passionate about and have been very passionate about, and especially in the past few years of my life, is that when you restrict yourself from anything, so if you restrict yourself from a food perspective, you can't sustain it. You can't always avoid every single food that's out there. So my goal is actually not related to I need to lose this many pounds, or I need to look this certain way, or wear this certain size. I don't have goals like that, because that's not what gives it value. That's not what's value to me. That's not what is important to me. What's important to me is that I do have some health numbers I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to improve my cholesterol. I actually have in the past year improved my cholesterol. The bad cholesterol went down, but the good cholesterol didn't come up. So I'm overall down a little bit, but still I'm not at the right balance from a cholesterol perspective. So I need to work on increasing the good cholesterol and lowering the bad cholesterol. As a reminder, I always wash my face twice with a wipe and a micellar water. So I want to work on lowering my cholesterol and improving those numbers. I'm working on lowering my HbA1c. It's not in the range it should be or we need it to be, so I'm working on that. And another goal I have is to reduce the number of medications that I take. I want to work on getting off blood pressure medication as well. So my goals are more focused on improving those numbers versus hitting a number on a scale. Because I could lower those numbers and never reach a skinny weight, and that's fine. I'm not about that life. I know people who are skinny but aren't healthy, and I know people that are skinny that are healthy, and I know people that are heavier and that are healthy, and I know people that are heavy that aren't healthy. So there's no body size that equals health. There's no weight that equals health. So what I'm looking to do, and why I started my channel and why I'm sharing this journey, is to improve my quality of life and what that looks like for me. As I've said, what this looks like for me may not be the same as what it looks like for other people. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. But I'm not about telling people, including myself, to be a certain size or look a certain way. Because that's not what health means. I've struggled, I think I've mentioned this before, I've struggled with weight since I was a kid. I have tried many different fad diets, many different eating plans. I've tried a lot of exercise plans. When I was in high school, I tried running. I was in marching band, so I did get have a lot of physical activity, but I never could find that right balance of what was going to make me lose weight. And I think now, as an adult and knowing what I know now, I think some of it was I was focused on the wrong things. I was focused on trying to be a certain size, look a certain way, because that's what I thought boys wanted, or girls, the people around you wanted you to be, versus just looking at it from a perspective of what are the right foods to put in my body and what is the right level of activity for my body. Even then, I did a lot of calorie restricting, which is not always a good thing. So I would eat unhealthy things, but I would eat very little of them so that I could stay within calories. So it still wasn't doing my body any service. I'm just smelling this. I'm trying out this mask I got, I think in a sample or an Ipsy or something like that. That is a mud mask and exfoliant. So we can always use getting rid of impurities, people. But, so in high school, I just never found what I was looking for from that perspective. And I put a lot of focus on, all of my self-worth tied into how I looked. And I carried that into my adult years as well. So around 2011, 2012, I started working out with a personal trainer a few times a week at like a private type gym. So you didn't have a membership type thing. It was a gym where you basically went just to see the personal trainers that were there. And I got really into it. Like, if you've ever seen that episode of Full House where DJ tries to starve herself and goes to the gym and works out till she passes out, I was doing something very similar to that. I was going at least twice a week and doing workouts with her, and they were similar to what we call, or what is HIIT training now, but it was circuit training. So we do a few minutes or a few sets of weights, and then we would go get on the elliptical for 5 minutes, and then we do more weights, and then back on the elliptical, more weights, back on the elliptical. So it was like that. Sorry, just looking at how long this has to set. So it has to set for a little bit. And I was seeing some progress from a strength perspective, a weight perspective. I was sore a lot. And then I decided to incorporate yoga, because at the time, the gym I was going to, there was a yoga studio 3 doors down, and a friend of mine lived close to there, and so we started going to the yoga studio, and we would do yoga. I was doing yoga 2 to 3 times a week, so seeing the trainer twice a week, doing yoga 2 to 3 times a week, and then I decided, I don't even remember why or how, but I decided to start kind of extreme calorie restriction. I was doing a protein shake that was about 150 calories for breakfast, same for lunch, and then would eat as little for dinner as I could tolerate. And I lost quite a bit of weight. I think it was up around 75 or 80 pounds that I had lost doing this. And but I had so little energy. I was sore all the time. I was tired all the time. It just I didn't feel good. And you'd think when, you start to lose weight and you start to get down, not closer to your goal weight or whatever you want to call it. And I wasn't feeling good. I wasn't seeing the decreases in my blood pressure and things like that. I didn't feel right and I didn't feel healthy. And then it started backfiring in a different way. It went from, having a shake and then, a little bit of food to I was so ravenous at the end of the day that I started binging. So I was doing this under eating, binging thing. And it was wreaking havoc on my body. And it never got to the point where I couldn't stop doing it. I actually I fell and I broke my wrist. Here's my scar. You can see it. I fell, broke my wrist, and had to stop doing yoga. I was out of commission for quite a while. I couldn't do any exercises for a long time because my wrist was really messed up. But when that happened and I had to stop doing yoga and I was on pain medication and all these things happened, it really stopped the behavior in its tracks. So the behaviors that I had been doing that were unhealthy, the restriction and the binging, it just stopped. It was that simple because I really just couldn't live that lifestyle while I was recovering from this injury. And the injury I was wearing a brace until probably 9 months after the injury. So it was a sort of a life-altering type scenario. So ever since then, I've had a pretty, we'll call it an open relationship with food. I don't really do a good job of sticking to eating the things I know I should eat. And I think it's because we just have, in general, a really complicated relationship with food. It's the only thing that you can get addicted to that you actually need to survive. So if you're a smoker, you can walk away from cigarettes, which I did. I used to smoke. You can walk away from cigarettes and you can never smoke again. And if you do try to smoke again, you find out it's really gross. So you can walk away from alcohol and never drink again. You don't need it to survive. Food, you have to find this point, this balance of not feeling like you never get to eat anything you want to eat and being so restrictive that you give up, but predominantly eating those healthy items for you. And that's where I'm at now, is trying to figure out how to not diet but still lose weight. Because while this is not a weight loss channel, I'm not restricting calories, I'm not on a diet. Naturally, through trying to achieve those other goals of lowering my HbA1c, lowering my blood pressure, I will see some weight loss. I will see that happen. It just may be a lot slower than if I took a path where I did calorie restrictions or I did keto or some of those other things that I feel are not right for me and not sustainable for my lifestyle. When I go to see my parents in Tennessee, visit my family, I want to be able to eat whatever we have on the table. I want to be able to go to my favorite restaurants down there and have those special items that I can't get when I'm in Wisconsin where I live. So I celebrate with food and I want to continue to be able to do that. But I need to find a balance of, while I'm doing that over here, 80% of the time in my day-to-day life, I'm focused on putting the right things in my body for fuel. Proteins, fruits, vegetables, the right kind of starches, and not eliminating anything from my diet. Sorry for that little wobble. That was one of my dogs running into the tripod. So yeah, I feel very strongly about making sure that I don't fall into another trap of going to the extremes where I calorie restrict and binge, or lose weight too quickly and put it all back on. So I just feel really passionately about the fact that health doesn't mean that I need to weigh a certain weight or look a certain way or wear a certain size or be able to shop in a certain store. Health is making sure that I'm emotionally healthy, that the people around me are supportive, and that I'm supporting the people around me who need support, that I'm being there for my friends, and that I am mentally taking care of myself in the areas that need, work and help. I have some issues with anxiety. I know a lot of people out there that do, and I know I have friends and family that do. We've all been through things that have caused us to have upticks in anxiety, and I have it. I have anxiety. So part of the my health journey involves figuring out my mental health and how I stay positive and how I overcome some of these things and how I take care of myself. So it's beyond just being a weight. And I hope that people that come and watch this, that watch my channel, sorry, I'm just getting a sheet mask ready, that stripped a lot of, that mask was okay. It dried rather quickly, and now my skin feels really dry, so I'm going to have to add some hydration back in it with this sheet mask. This is a ginseng sheet mask. Smells a little strong, but we'll go with it. But if you're here and you're watching, I hope that you'll be inspired by the fact that I believe health can exist at any weight, at any shape, at any size. You can get there, you can be there, and it's not about how you look. It's about how you feel. Let me put this sheet mask on and then let it sit for a little bit. This is always the best part. Oh. Whoa. It's like you're putting it's like you're putting weird second skin on your face. Oh, I really hope that's the thumbnail one of these times. Alright, so I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Okay guys, I'm back. I cannot make it 5 minutes with this mask. It has a very strong perfumey smell, so it's coming off now. Whew. Rubbing the serums in from the mask. So yeah, I just wanted to share kind of my thoughts on diet and why I'm not on a diet and won't be on a diet. You won't hear me talk about diets because just not for me. Now, that does make certain things harder because, and I was actually talking about this with my husband yesterday, that makes certain things harder because when it's it's more difficult to eat healthy when you don't have a specific plan that somebody else has created for you to follow. By the way, that's just my vitamin C and rosehip oil. When you don't have a specific plan that somebody has given you to follow and you have to try and create your own, it is a little bit more difficult. However, I truly believe that once we get there, it's more sustainable for us as a couple, for us as individuals. It will be more sustainable because it's something that we came up with that works for us. It's something that we've tried and we've put to the test. And I think that we're going to get there. I know that we're going to get there. It's just a matter of continuing to work on what are those things that that work for our body, that work for our lifestyle, that work for being able to still go to the gym and come home and have, eat at home and have it be something that's filling but has the right balance of things. So, what I'm doing next week is I actually already planned out our menu for next week. We're not avoiding Christmas food at Christmas holidays and things like that, but in our normal everyday life, we're trying to stay a little bit away from like the Christmas cookies and the Christmas treats so that when we do it at an event, it's more special. So this week, what we're planning to do is I'm also really busy this weekend. I'm doing a couple more paintings at the studio, Christmas paintings. We have to do some shopping for Christmas. So the plan is Saturday I have to be at the studio by 5. So we're going to have a brunch on Saturday, kind of later in the day. So more like breakfast for lunch later in the day, and then just have snacks for supper since I won't be home. And then Sunday we're doing a big salad with some leftover turkey and vegetables and such for lunch. And then dinner, I think we're doing some popcorn. And then next week what I have planned is salmon, and we're doing spaghetti with chickpea pasta, which I make a homemade spaghetti sauce that I really, really like, that doesn't have any added sugars. It's basically canned tomatoes, tomato sauce, and some seasonings. And then we're going to do some grilled chicken and a couple of veggies. So, and we already have lunches and dinner, or breakfast and lunches already set between our soups and our breakfast sandwiches. So I feel like we got a good plan for the next week. The main thing is going to be making sure we eat at home, making sure we, don't spend too much money because, we got to buy those Christmas presents. And I think that I feel really good about that plan and where we're going with it this next week. And then next weekend I'll do the same thing. I'll figure out what our plan is. We leave for my parents' house for Christmas on the 21st of December. So we have a couple of weeks to get all of that stuff set up. So that's all I've got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sometimes the topics are a little bit raw and a little bit personal, and this one was a very personal topic for me and something that's very important for me to get out to you guys so that you know the context of where I'm coming from and why I do things the way that I do. So please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more episodes of this. I am participating in Vlogmas. I'm vlogging every day between the 1st of December and December 25th. So check that out. I have a playlist for my Vlogmas and a playlist for self-care and share videos on my channel. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, put any feedback you have in the comments, and I will see you guys later.
The life that I dream of. This the life that I dream of. This the life that I. This the life that I. Caviar on my